Henry and his great-grandma, Mussie Granho. Henry the Hedgehog knew that Great-Grandma Hedgehog was very poorly. He had always called her Granho, Mussie Granho, and felt safe when looking into her big eyes that seemed to him like two pools of peace. Her gentle front 5 toes had often tickled his tummy, and her strong rear 4 toes had often helped give him a push out of the gurgling brook and up the muddy bank. Even when he felt all grown up, her love had been like a cushion into which he could always happily sink, fragrant with childhood memories, and laughing days. But despite her breezy air and chirpy spirit, her face looked tired and her movements were slow. He decided he was going to surprise her one last time. He made his way to the sunlit brook, where butterflies cavorted between blossoms, and the grasses were lush and long. Through the morning he collected an array of flowers that formed a kaleidoscope of colours. He then gathered piles of twigs that he skillfully wove to form letters, and linked them together with leaf stems. Next, he added the flowers. By the time he had finished, he realized it was far too big for him to carry, and asked the centipedes if they would mind lending him their many legs to carry his work of art. As the day put on its slippers and the forest grew calm, Henry's masterpiece was finally in position, in the centre of Granho's garden. Henry tapped on her door and crept silently beside her bed, kissed her, and whispered that she should look out of the window. Her heavy eyes opened, but when she looked, they grew wide, and her face grew pink with delight. "Oh, sweet Henry," she said quietly. "Oh, sweet dear Henry. How did you manage to think of such a thing? It is beautiful." His creation was there, spelling out the words, "Granho, I love you." "And," Granho continued, "I love you so much too, and I always will." That evening, Granho died, and her spirit was released to the twinkling heavens. Henry looked up, tears rolling down his cheeks, and an amazing sight took his breath away. His words and flowers were dancing in the evening air, swaying, swirling, swooping, and yet staying always close together so that the words were never lost. Slowly they rose higher and higher, as though accompanying Granho to her happiness beyond. Henry was mystified as to how it was possible for his creation to have sprouted wings. And then he realized his creation was still on the ground, but the butterflies from the sunlit brook had watched all his endeavours, been touched by his love, and had decided to help comfort him and honour Granho by adding their magic. They were, in perfect unison, mirroring the message of his words by their formation, and their beautiful silken wings looked like the flower petals of Henry's display. In the weeks that followed, Henry's friends were surprised that he remained cheerful and busy about life. "Don't you miss Granho?" they asked. "Miss her?" answered Henry. "Of course. But she hasn't left me. Her spirit is closer with me now than it was before. I know what she would say to me, what she would advise me, and what she would do in every situation I face. It's as though she is by my side and in my heart forever." And with that, and a skip, and a step, he went off down the lane, humming one of Granho's favourite songs.